This video is brought to you by John Robson Guitar Tuition. If you enjoy the content, please consider supporting the channel by enrolling on a course, purchasing some guitar lessons or a t-shirt, or you can join my Patreon. Now, on with the show. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. It's Tuesday today, which means that we're doing a top 5 list, and this is a video that I've been thinking about doing for a while. It's been bubbling away on the back burner and I've finally got round to doing it. We're talking about story songs. I suppose as guitar players we usually gravitate towards music and songs which have, great guitar playing on them, and certainly that applies to some of the songs, most of the songs on this list. But the other trait that they all have in common is that they are all story songs, songs that have characters, songs that have a plot, songs that tell a narrative with a beginning, a middle and an end. And I just think that it takes a special kind of skill as a lyricist to be able to pull that off, to tell a complete story in the space of usually 4 or 5 minutes. Admittedly, there's one song on this list that is far in excess of that, but we'll see which one that is as we go through. I just think that it takes a special, as I say, kind of talent as a songwriter, and it's a talent I admire. I like to listen to a song that tells me a story. So let's get cracking straight away with
Telegraph Road by Dire Straits.
Telegraph Road, indeed, the first track on this album, Love Over Gold. It would be difficult, if not impossible, for me to pick my favourite Dire Straits song. It could be anything really from the period before Brothers in Arms. I mean, I kind of bought into Brothers in Arms when it came out, because it was one of my favourite bands having a big hit album. So of course, you kind of try and get into it. But to be honest, I don't think that album's aged well. I think this album, the album which came before Brothers in Arms, Love Over Gold, is a much stronger album, possibly the strongest Dire Straits album that they ever did. And the strongest song on it for me is the opening track, Telegraph Road. This is the song that is the one that is well in excess of the 4 or 5 minutes parameters that I mentioned in the intro. It tells the story of the birth and stagnation of a civilization, from the very origins of, the way the song goes. A long time ago came a man on a track walking 30 miles with a sack on his back, put down his load where he thought it was the best, made a home in the wilderness, and so it goes on, and the town develops, and, the flourishes, and then economic hard times come along, and it tells the story of the birth and, as I say, possible stagnation of a society. It's fantastically well written, and there is, of course, Mark Knopfler's fabulous guitar playing all over it. And if you're picking songs that tell a story, this one has to be on the list, and for me it's got to be at the top of the list. So there you go, Telegraph Road. Next,
Rat Trap by the Boomtown Rats.
Yes, something rather different, it has to be said. I often think of this song as being the punk Bohemian Rhapsody. Again, it tells a story. It paints a very, very vivid picture of life in an urban city, in a post-industrial kind of, economically depressed time. This was the late 1970s when this came out, and this was the world we lived in, and it told the story through the eyes of 2 characters, Billy and, was it Julie or Judy? I can't remember. Just such a fantastically written song. Geldof really did paint a very, as I say, vivid picture here. You can almost taste the tastes and smell the smells when you're listening to this. Just such a... He was obviously writing about, kind of neighbourhoods and areas that were familiar to him from his youth. And it's like you get the feeling that Billy, the song's main protagonist, could very easily have been Bobby, Mr. Geldof himself, if things had not turned out the way they had for him. A great, well-written song, and of course it's got that wonderful sax break on there. I forget who it was who played it. I remember I did look into that and research it when I did the solo analysis video of that sax break as a guitar arrangement. But yeah, it's one of those songs that you're kind of aware of it and you think, yeah, I know what that sounds like, and consequently you don't go and listen to it. But if you haven't listened to it in a while, go back and listen to it. It really, really does, kind of hit you as fresh and new as it ever was. And for something that was, recorded in I think '79, it still sounds. It doesn't sound dated. It still sounds, as I say, fresh and new. And it's, I think, one of the greatest punk anthems ever written. So that's why it's on the list. Next,
Fairy Tale of New York by the Pogues.
Yeah, this song is, it's the second time it's cropped up on one of these list kind of shows that I do, because back last Christmas I did my favourite Christmas songs, and this is on here. I mean, you know the song. I'm sure how can you not know the song? It tells the story of a pair of Irish migrants coming into New York as a young couple, and just then how, looking back on their lives, and it's just such a fantastic. Kirsty MacColl's vocal on this, Shane McGowan's lyrics. If ever you get the chance to watch it, there's a fantastic BBC documentary about the making of this song, the recording of it, the demos they went through, with the original female vocal on this was the Pogues' original bass player, Cot O'Riordan, and then she left the band, and who was going to take the female part? Well, Kirsty kind of came in and did a sterling job on this. Absolutely fantastic, anthemic story song. One of my favourite Christmas songs, and it's also got to be one of my favourite story songs. Again, it's just a shame that you kind of feel a little bit odd when you want to listen to this song when it's not, kind of December. Well, when does Christmas start these days? Usually about the end of August, doesn't it? But, it's a song that I think you should be able to listen to all year round, because it just tells such a wonderful story in such a wonderful way, and that's why it's on the list. Next.
Kid Charlemagne by Steely Dan.
Yes, possibly the only true story in this list. Kid Charlemagne, Steely Dan, from the Royal Scam album. It tells the story of an acid dealer, an LSD dealer, whose name is, excuse me while I consult my notes, Owsley Stanley, whose product was considered to be the best that you could get. I'm just looking at the lyrics here on this screen, On the hill the stuff was laced with kerosene, but yours was kitchen clean. Everyone stopped to stare at your Technicolor motorhome. Every A-frame had your number on the wall, and so on. Steely Dan lyrics, they're often, just so well, they're always usually so well crafted. Donald Fagen had a real knack for putting together, just encapsulating an idea and a moment, just with an economy of words, and really kind of injecting it with humour and a kind of a wry smile, and that's definitely what you get from this song. And it tells the story of I'm not sure how you pronounce his name, but Owsley Stanley. It tells you the story of his, kind of rise and fall, and it's, you don't have to know what the song's about to enjoy it. I mean, of course, you've got that incredible Larry Carlton guitar solo, which is just I for years I loved this song, and I didn't have a clue what it was about. I kind of knew it was telling me a story about something, but it wasn't clear to me until I sort of researched it that what the story was about. So it's one of those songs that it bears scrutiny. You can look into it and think, yeah, that's what it's about. It makes it even more satisfying. So that's why that one's on the list. Next.
Glory Days by Bruce Springsteen.
Again, something really rather different. What was it? It was about 1984 when Born in the USA, the album that contained this song, came out. I was 17 at the time. And all I thought about this song at the time was, well, yeah, it's a catchy song. It's got a great Telecaster guitar tone on it, and it's a good foot stomping anthem. And the lyrics, fine. It wasn't until I was kind of entering me sort of middle years, let's say late 30s into early and mid 40s, when you start doing what the character in this song is doing, like looking back on your younger days and reminiscing and thinking, whatever happened to those good times, whatever happened to those glory days, that the song kind of reveals its significance to you. It's become one of my favourite Springsteen songs, just purely for the way that lyric has grown on me over the years. I didn't really get it when I first heard it. I didn't really, I like the song, and kind of on one level I could understand what was being kind of sung about, but it wasn't until I'd lived that kind of that experience that he's singing about in the song that suddenly it kind of hits the bullseye for me. So yeah. That is Glory Days by Bruce Springsteen, the number 5 on my list of favourite story songs. I wouldn't say they were in any order other than Telegraph Road has to be at the top of the list, but the rest of them could be in any order of preference, really. Let me know what your favourite story songs are down in the comments. Let me know if you think I've missed any obvious ones that should have been there, or if you disagree with me on any of my choices. This is just, as I say, a very personal list of things that are my favourites. They may or may not be yours as well. And that is pretty much the video for today, folks. Hope you've enjoyed what you've seen and found it reasonably entertaining. And if that's the case, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so. And why not drop me a like while you're at it. Don't forget, as always, the live stream every Friday, 5 PM UK time, where we drink beer and have a chat about music and guitars and probably what our favourite story songs are. That'll probably crop up this week. It's a great way to kick off the weekend. I'd love to see you there if you can make it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.